Thanks, Brandon!
Oh, goodness.
Yep, I've forgotten what my real face looks like.
No scars though.
He does.
I was bleeding. Which, just like you, makes me an anomaly, an aberration. Watch the switch. You're too young to be on steroids, but...
That should be perfect. It's all like whenever we're ready. Okay, so I want you to introduce yourself because I suck at it.
Oh, okay.
It's a known fact.
Okay. So what kind of introduction?
I mean, you want people to know you as like a wrestler, right? So what's your name?
So my name is Jacob Brawn. I am a just shy of 12-year veteran.
Wow.
Based out of Detroit, Michigan, trained by Kongo Kong.
Were you really?
Yep.
That is dope.
That is my adoptive trainer.
No kidding.
So.
No, he's great.
Yep.
He's one of my favorites. He's one of the first 3 people I liked at the first show I ever
Oh, that's
saw.
awesome, yeah.
Yeah,
that's my daddy.
Aw.
He's luckily he's trained quite a few good people that we've been bringing up here at Shogun, so
yeah.
Surge and Kirk and CFR and Francis and Anthony Totelli, who wasn't here this show, but yeah, I'm just sort of taking over the locker room with Kongo Kong kids.
I like it. I like it.
Everyone's delivering, so I mean, absolutely.
I'm very impressed. See, because I feel like everybody says like House of Truth and stuff. Like, and I get that. That's a good. But I feel like people sleep on Kongo Kong's people for a little while longer than they should.
And I'm here to wake them up.
I appreciate that.
That's my plan.
Y'all are some good. You're good, and I love the strongman.
Thank you.
I know I said that already, but I want to say it like for everybody. It fits really well.
Thank you. I enjoy it very much.
Although my daughter said strongman would be better if it was bald.
Bald?
Look, I have to say, and because I didn't agree with her at first, and then as you were wrestling, I was like, no, you're stupid.
I mean, I thought like I eventually want a 1-strap singlet. I haven't.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I haven't pulled the trigger on that one yet. But I can't do bald. No? Absolutely. I buzzed my head before. But I mean, I like having some hair at least.
So why did you pick the strongman thing?
So funny enough, one of the guys here made me trading cards, and he gave them a very vintage look. Like the like sepia tone. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Sepia.
Sepia.
Yes, maybe something like that.
I probably pronounce it incorrectly. So maybe you're probably right.
But and he made them, and I had them at another show, and this other wrestler was like, "These are really cool. This reminds me of an old like strongman, old timey kind of character.
Okay.
You should do that character and go to old wrestling." And I was like, oh. And so like old wrestling is one of the coolest shows I've ever seen. And so I really wanted to be on that show.
Okay.
And so I messaged them and I was like, hey, like I have this idea for this strongman character. And we went back and forth. And so we were going to do it. And then I was like, why don't I just do it everywhere instead of just doing it at one show? To stay consistent, you know, it's easier that way too. And so then we were supposed to do the show. I did one show as a strongman, and I didn't have the weight belt. It looked really awkward, like just the singlet, no weight belt.
Oh.
And then COVID hit, and so then I did one show as a strongman, and then COVID hit.
Oh.
So I never did, like I didn't get to do it again for like a year or two or however long it was. But then I finally old wrestling came to Detroit, and we got to do the show, and I got to do it there, and it went over really well, and they loved it, and so now every time old wrestling's in Detroit, I get to be on that show.
That's dope.
It was my favorite show until here. Now they're tied. I don't want to be, picking favorites and upsetting anyone.
Look,
so
it's all right to pick favorites. Even moms have a favorite kid.
That's fair. That's true.
It might be you love them the same, but You might like one a little bit different. That's what people do. And I happen to like you. So 12 years.
Yes, April will be 12 years for me.
So if you just started the strongman thing, what were you doing before? You were just like wrestling? Just being like Joe Blow?
When I first started, I did a Muay Thai character.
A what?
Muay Thai is like kickboxing.
Oh, okay.
It's like an MMA type. It's a fighting style that mostly consists of elbows and knees.
I could see that with you.
And so, and just a heavy striking based style.
Okay.
And so that was my character for a little bit. Excuse me. And then I did it. Funny enough, not funny enough. It was terrible. I'll get real here.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
So a picture of me in gimmick got posted online from one of the photographers.
Okay.
And then someone made a comment on it, like, "What the F is this?" I don't know if I can swear or not. I'll try not to.
You can. You totally
I swear
can.
a lot, so I'm going to try not to.
I do too.
But so they were like, "What the F is this?" And it started a 200 plus comment thread.
What in the what?
Like people were bashing on me, and other people had my back. I was like a year or two in at best. Like I was super green, and I hadn't trained with Kong yet.
Okay.
I was microwave trained by someone else, and then released into the wild.
Even I know what that term
and
was.
So,
that's fucked.
So yeah, so like,
wow.
I had a bunch of heat and stuff, and people didn't like me, and some people did like me. And then that's when Steve Kongo Kong messaged me, and he was like, "Hey, I don't know if you've seen that stuff online. Don't worry about it. Come train with me."
Oh.
And so then I started, even though I live out in Detroit, I would start driving down to Indiana, and that's how I trained with him.
Wow.
So I would like stay the weekend at his place because he had a school, or like we would drive to shows together and train before and after and stuff. And like,
kidding.
So it got to a point where I didn't wrestle in Michigan anymore at all, and I was just Indiana because I was traveling with him so much. And like for the longest time, like. I mean, it's probably not so much anymore, but for a while, like, I was labeled as an Indiana guy because I wasn't touching Michigan. And even though I'm from here, like, I just didn't want to deal with some people, like, I just didn't want to deal with the politics.
People sleep on Indiana, too. They really do.
Indiana has some good gems, for sure. We have the same tripod. That's fun. But and so I started training with him, and when I started training with him, I actually started doing a mustache character. And then me, Kirk, and another guy, Matt O'Hare, were the Mustache Mafia. And we all had different mustaches. Oh. Matt had one like mine now. I had a curly one. Oh. And then Kirk had the full goatee deal all the way down. We came out to Macho Man by the Village People. Phenomenal.
That is chef's kiss all the way.
Got so many like slurs chanted at me.
Wow.
Like very much homosexual, slurs. Yeah, and like I used to let it bother me when I was super green, and just like I'd like get under my skin. But training with Steve and it like really helped me. Like you just got to deal with it, and like. At the show, whatever. Yeah.
You gotta just grin and bear it.
Yeah, sometimes. Retail's a little different, right? I would say the people who are mean to retail workers are pieces of shit. Obviously you're a piece of shit if you're calling someone a fag or something as a wrestler. Like, choose a better name to make fun of someone, like, or do some, So we did that, and at the same time, I was working a little bit as Jacob Mercury.
Okay.
And I would
like Freddie Mercury.
Yes.
Oh my God, I can totally see. That's who you look like.
Yep. And so I would sing myself to the ring. Really bad, on purpose.
It be bad.
I love karaoke so much.
You were just the best.
Oh, dude, I'd come on and be like, Rocky, obnoxious.
God.
And like I'd put someone in a headlock, and I'd be, and I'd just start singing some more. Just any chance I could. It was
that's
great.
Beautiful.
It was so much fun. But then I wanted to be like, I bulked up a little bit. I put on some weight, and I wanted to be like a serious wrestler. So like, I had Kirk and I had a feud when we broke up the Mustache Mafia, and he actually shaved my mustache off in the ring in front of like 400 people. It was insane. It was just a great pop and such an awesome reaction. And so then I like made it to where I was like babyface everywhere for a little bit, and just like was being more of like a myself kind of wrestler. And that's sort of what I was doing for a while. And then I'd be face some places, heel some other places and whatnot. And then eventually the strongman thing came about.
Which is always a face. They love it. People love it.
So,
no, it's not always a face?
No, so it started off as a heel a lot of places.
Really?
And so, yeah, then when Shogun was opening its doors, we were talking about it, and I said I wanted to be a face, and I wanted to run face and see how it went. I mean, if the crowd hated me, then I would have just, went heel, but I love it.
That's a good attitude to have.
It's so much fun, though. Like, being a baby face, I was
you prefer it more?
Yes, now I do. When I first was wrestling, I preferred to be heel.
Why?
I used to think it was more fun being a heel.
Okay.
Being a face is a lot harder.
Yeah.
Is it?
To get a genuine react, there are guys who come out and they're like, "Let's go, yeah!" And they have to cheer me, please, kind of thing. And you gotta fight. And to get a genuine reaction from the crowd as a face is the most rewarding thing in wrestling. I feel like it's just. Like today, I came out there and I just stepped out the doorway and they were like, yeah, on their feet, ready to go. And
no, it was great.
That's the coolest shit to me. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's why I always scream for the people that I like. I don't give a rat's me. I want that for the people.
Yeah, it's great. And it's just, it's a genuine thing. And it's
hard to cultivate. You have to cultivate it. I feel like you have to have interactions and you have to talk to people and you schmooze and you have to be interesting.
Yes.
You not only have to be a good wrestler, you have to be a good actor or whatever you want to call it.
If there's nothing about you for someone to connect with, then they're just going to be like, oh,
can't be a charisma black hole.
Right.
I don't care how good you look or how many muscles you have, and I do like when people pick up other people and throw them. It excites my soul. Excites. My favorite thing is when somebody uses somebody else to hit somebody.
Oh, yeah.
But I digress. But you can do that all night long, and that's okay.
But if talking to you is the same as talking to a door, then
absolutely.
You're
not like that. You're very charismatic.
Thank you.
And engaging.
You have a presence for sure.
Presence, yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you for the word also. I was trying to think of that. But yeah, so it's great. So where do you wrestle besides? I know I've seen you other places.
Right now, mostly just here.
Okay.
Sometimes I work at the American Wrestling Experience, AWE, in Jackson.
That's it. I remember now.
See, I'm a bad guy there. What's that?
We've seen you at Great Lakes.
Oh, yep. I was at Great Lakes. Yep, a lot. Yeah.
I'm bad.
FWF in Warsaw, Indiana. I used to be there all the time. I don't get out too much anymore, and I'd like to change that because I feel like I am the best I've ever been right now in the ring. I feel like I'm borderline untouchable. My shit doesn't stink right now, and so I want more people to know that.
No, you are really good, and I agree. I want more people to know that too, because again, I think people go for pretty sometimes more than substance. Not always.
Are you saying I'm not pretty?
No, look, okay, I was gonna say not that you're not pretty, because you are, but I meant things get overlooked.
Oh yeah,
a lot that are great, and again, I think people sleep on great things.
Yep, I agree.
I wish more people would come up here. Not you need more crowd.
As a pretty tag, there could have been more people, but we're just growing and growing, and that's fine. And
the company isn't that old to begin with.
No, We did one
don't
show September last year. It was an outdoor show.
Okay.
In downtown we did it. And then July here was the very first show.
No kidding.
So 5 months. This was the 5th show we've done here. This is
pretty impressive, and you're bringing all this Kongo Kong talent up.
Yeah,
bro.
2024. I want to put Shogun on the map.
I feel like it should be on the map.
You know, a lot of people talk about about Detroit being the best wrestling in Michigan, and right now I don't agree.
I don't know. I don't agree either because. Okay, so I'm pretty easygoing. It's real easy to make me happy. I'm mad because every match was so good. Like, it just kept getting better. It was so, like...
And yeah, that's...
I thought, like, okay, we'll have... I think I said this out there. That's the concussion.
You did.
That's
well,
okay.
whatever. I'm going to say it again because I fucking mean it. Yeah, that too. What the hell was I saying? Jesus God.
Every match just better and better, and that's
it. Just better and better. The last match, I'm still like about it. I want to just scream into the void because I have all this pent up like from it. So yeah, y'all are doing something right here. So keep bringing the talent up here. Yeah, this is
weather permitting, we'll be back.
Yeah, no, I want to come like every single show I'm gone. Like, it's so good.
Next month will be the tournament to crown the first ever Super Shogun Wrestling Heavyweight Champion of the world.
Me, I'm more excited.
Of the world.
Of the world.
Why does every wrestling company have to be of the world? It's not of the world. Just be Michigan, bro. It's not more. Yeah.
I agree. I'm 50-50.
It's silly.
Defended outside their city at the.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
You have to have a world title. It's like.
I get the psychology of it. It just annoys the writer in me.
If I were to happen to win the tournament in January, then I would gladly take that title and defend it anywhere.
I could see.
And we'll make it at least a national title. You know, I mean, I have a passport. I can wrestle.
Oh Lord,
internationally if the opportunity arises.
I feel like you'd be good over in the Britain lands.
I would love. That's why I got a passport. That's where I want to wrestle. And I feel like that's. And so, like a lot of the Detroit scene, a lot of the matches I see, I'm gonna shit on them a little bit here. Sorry, guys. Some of them I'm friends with, but a lot of their stuff is a lot of just like. I feel like super kicks and Canadian destroyers and just.
It's like an anime show.
They're like, and if that works for them, that's cool. Personally, that's not my style. It's just that's not what I'm into. That's not what we're trying to accomplish here, and that's okay. Wrestling. A lot of people say wrestling is a buffet. There's something for everyone.
I like this one, but I also like Metro Pro,
and that's awesome. Hell yeah!
XICW and Chaos. But I also love Chainsaw. But I love good promotions because they all offer something different. Yes. It's like a buffet. Oh my God, RCW too. Jesus, Lord have mercy.
And
PWK.
And yeah, I mean that's the. I used to work at both of those.
I know. That I know.
But I mean we're offering something different here, and I love it. And my favorite match here so far was with Kirk, and to where it was August.
Okay.
And so I body slammed him, and the crowd just erupted, and they started chanting one more time. So the straps came down, and I body slammed him one more time, and they thought that was it. They thought I was about to beat him with a body slam. It was that easy, and it was just the coolest thing. And
just the fact, when you do that, I am just astounded and in awe.
I'm gonna just pat myself on the back here because afterwards I picked him up and I airplane spun him.
Shut your mouth.
There's a picture hanging up in the office. It made the local newspaper.
Can you please show me before we leave?
Yes.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
There's a picture of me just holding him up, like, and I'm like screaming, and it's on the paper. It's so cool.
No, I knew when your straps came down, I was like, oh no, his straps just came down. It's on
It
now.
makes you 25% stronger.
I learned.
At
Is that
least.
why? Oh, see, I learned it from BoJack. Like watching him, I'm like, every time the straps come down, it's serious.
Shit's
business.
about to get real. That's what it means.
And
Absolutely.
It really strengthens you.
Yes.
It's like spinach for Popeye.
Right. Absolutely.
More air in your lungs because you're not restrained.
Yep. That's it. Yeah.
The stupidest thing, and I
I love that. That's great.
Though. That's, oh my God. This is a beautiful
So
day.
you get 25% more strength from it.
Yeah, I can breathe.
Stupid asses. God.
Oh!
There's the match I had. The first show here was with Anthony Toatelli, and my belt. I had a new belt on, and it was too tight. And so by the end of the match, I'm like, and so like you see me. There's at least a few minutes left of the match when I finally unstrap it. I just take it off, and one of the commentators after the show goes, "Gas yourself a little bit." I was like, "Yeah, it was just too tight. Like it was a new belt, it wasn't broken in yet." I was like, "Damn it!" Good stuff.
See, I wouldn't even think about something like that. So we're gonna stick with the strongman thing.
Yes,
then.
yeah,
Good.
that's
a good idea.
that's my bread and butter here.
That's your bread and butter here.
It's fun, absolutely.
I'm starting to learn wrestling terms. I know what getting over means now. It's because I'm
just exposing the whole business here. It's all right.
It's fine. People do it inadvertently, and I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah, that's
I'm
fair.
so clueless.
It's almost like another language.
It's definitely.
She's only been in wrestling for like 3 years now. So
Okay.
We went to.
Strictly independent. So.
Yeah, no, I don't. Like, I know some WWE stuff because I used to work at a group home, and one of the residents loved it.
Sure.
So I sort of learned, but that was like Miz and who's the tall skinny dude or the little short guy who was a creepy and the big.
You're talking about
Cass and yes,
Enzo.
and
okay, yeah.
like that era. That's what I know a little bit of. Obviously, not a lot because I couldn't remember their stupid.
That's fair.
That's how
right.
I describe them every time. I'm so bad.
That's funny. That's okay. I don't know them, so it's fine.
See, but yeah, so I don't really know much of anything. So you're not really exposing.
Okay.
And other people have done way worse. So it's all right.
Perfect. Good.
So are your plans only just for? Are we building up this then? That's what we're doing?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I want to wrestle more places. I want to get out there a little bit more. I want to get out of the Midwest. Because I've been here my whole career. And so obviously I'm going to keep coming here. I want to be the man of this place. I want to be the gatekeeper to the main event. I want to build this place up and make it huge. But I also want to go wrestle in California.
So don't you have to just do that? You just show up at a show and help, right? That's how you get allowed to wrestle.
Sometimes.
You gotta get noticed. I mean, that could happen. YouTube.
I mean, yeah,
Facebook.
Personally, I'm not gonna fly myself out to California and be like, hey, let me help set up your ring for a chance to wrestle on your show.
That's what I'm wondering.
And so it's just
it's so weird to me. This whole thing.
You make contacts. I wrestled a guy. I did a show. We did a Mustache Mafia show in Chicago years and years ago. At this time, obviously, and one of the guys we met there, I kept in touch with just online and stuff over the years. He was from Minnesota area, whatever.
Okay.
He moved to Denver. Well, we kept in touch, and he was Invite. He was mostly doing death matches. And so I was like, hey, we did a birthday show in my backyard. And I paid all the boys. It was my birthday.
That's nice.
And so we had a bunch of beer and a bunch of food, and we hung out and we wrestled and we had a good time. But so I was like, hey, I have this idea for instead of a death match, a life match. And we're gonna have, instead of we used doors in the match because I had old doors, whatever. But we had kiddie pools with a bunch of water balloons in them and stuff, and squirt guns and just stupid shit. And we had a pinata.
I love that.
Yeah, and so so the finish of the match ended up being he bashed me in the head with the pinata. Candy goes everywhere. Half the wrestlers are trying to like reach into the ring to grab some. And he went for the Total Anarchy, which is a spinning, like a suplex, but you have their feet on the rope and you spin into it like a neck breaker, if that makes sense.
I'll show you.
Okay.
And so
show me.
he went for it, but I countered into a roll-up, a small package. We flipped out of it, and then I kneed him in the face for the 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
So he lives out in Denver. This is what I was getting at, and like I flew him in, and we had the match, and it went really well. So then I ended up flying out to Denver. The first time I flew out there myself, and I wrestled for Rocky Mountain Pro out there.
Okay.
And we did a series of matches. Him and I beat the shit out of each other. And then the next time, however many months later, they ended up flying me out.
Oh,
and so like they paid for my
wow.
flight to go out there and wrestle for them again. And so like
That's exciting.
yeah, and so it just, you know, like if you can work something out to where for me, like I'm willing to like work with people, like if I gotta fly there, like meet me in the middle. And then I'll wrestle. And then I know my wrestling will back itself up.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make it worth your while. Like so
all right.
yeah.
That's fair, because yeah, you do.
Yeah, and so obviously,
a really good show.
You know, thank you. Flights can be expensive, and you know, so like I don't mind working with people the first time or two to prove my worth.
Okay.
And then you know,
that's fair.
So
that's very fair. I would totally be like most of the time. I'm like, no, you need to get paid for your.
Yeah,
like,
and so like obviously, like. You know, especially if it's like a first time, you know, maybe I'm not a good fit there. But, you know, if we can work something out to try it, like I'm not going to ask for a flight and hotel and rental car and stuff like that. You know, I'm not a superstar or something, you know. I mean, I think I'm pretty fucking good at pro wrestling, but like I'm not going to have these just outrageous claims or demands, you know.
Fair enough.
Until I'm super famous like Matt Cardona or some shit.
So you just have to like just talk to more people?
Yeah.
And get your face out there, which is like
get footage out there. And like I've got a buddy who is from the Midwest. He lives out in California. And so he put me in touch with some promoters out there.
Okay.
So I just gotta message them some more and figure out like dates and a plan and try to get out there and wrestle. And
dope.
So.
I will. You have a YouTube channel?
I do. I don't update it very much. I'm more of Instagram and TikTok right now, and Facebook.
TikTok is I did not know you had a TikTok.
Yeah.
Could you send me a link?
I sure can.
That would be awesome because
Yeah.
I love TikTok and I love to share TikToks.
Tight. Yeah, absolutely.
So, I'm moderately famous on TikTok.
Are
I've
you?
got a couple like 4.3 million videos.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. They went viral.
Mine get like 200 to 300 views. Maybe if it's a squat day, I'll get like 800 views if I show the legs off right. But
I mean, that can look if the right people share it. That was a bad wink.
It's
that
okay.
Was so bad. As I was trying to do it, I was like, "You're not going to be able to pull that off."
That was like a rocket raccoon wink. Like it's painfully obvious. That's okay. I'm here for it.
Everything I do is painfully obvious. All right. So I know you have things to do. I appreciate you.
This has been very fun.
Much.
Thank you. Absolutely.
I'm very glad. I always like to hear that. I like to learn about the guys I like and girls. If any of them will ever talk to me.
So then I'm going to have a special request to end this interview.
Oh, Lord.
Because you said that you had some pent-up aggression. Can we just scream really loud together?
Am I allowed to scream?
I mean, we can pull the microphones out if that'll help.
That's probably smart. You're smart.
Thank you.
I didn't even think about that.
So we can do
Oh,
that.
God.
All right.
I feel like I'm going to look stupid, so I'm going to like cover my face.
That's fine. Okay.
It's
All
like ugly crying. Like I made, oops.
Oh.
It's fine. It's going to cover. I drop it all the time.
Okay.
Oh my God.
All right.
So
Big
embarrassing.
scream. 1, 2, 3.
I'm gonna be like, what the fuck's going on over there?
Awesome.
That really did feel